The story begins in the future, a time when crime and lawlessness had surged dramatically. To combat this, the government incorporated robots called scouts into the police force. These robots were manufactured by a company named Tetraveil. The engineer responsible for designing them was named Dion. Apart from scouts, the same company also created much larger robots called Moose, which operated via remote control. These were designed by another engineer named Vincent. Vincent was opposed to artificial intelligence because he believed robots should always remain under human control. Meanwhile, we are introduced to a group of thieves being chased through the city by scout robots. Their leader was Ninja. During the chase, they collided with another vehicle, but somehow managed to escape and reach their gang leader, Hippo. However, Hippo's men confiscated all their weapons. Enraged that the team had failed their mission, Hippo threatened them, demanding they pay him $20 million within 7 days or lose their lives. He forced a promise out of Ninja by shoving a gun in his mouth and even shot one of the thieves to show he wasn't bluffing. At that very moment, the scouts discovered their location and arrived by helicopters. Hippo and his gang launched a wild gunfight and explosions ensued. Ninja and his team rushed into their van, only to find the keys missing. Meanwhile, scouts landed and began attacking the criminals, accompanied by 2 human officers using Scout 22 as a shield. Within moments, the scouts began to wipe out the gang. Ninja searched the bodies for the van keys. The thug who had them tried escaping in another car, but a scout attacked and caused an explosion. Ninja fired at a helicopter, forcing the pilot to fly away. He then retrieved the van keys from the wreckage. At the same time, the police stormed an old building where Hippo was hiding. When they broke in, Hippo launched a rocket that severely damaged Scout 22. He then escaped through a window, while Ninja and his team fled in their van. However, in the chaos, America, a member of the gang, was shot. With Hippo's gang defeated, the media reported that the scouts had successfully eliminated the criminals. The government was so impressed that they placed an order for 100 more scouts from the company. Meanwhile, at the company, Vincent wanted to keep working on his Moose robots, but the CEO, Michelle, wasn't providing enough funding. On the other hand, another engineer was trying to repair Scout 22, and Dion was called in. During the attack, Scout 22's battery had fused, meaning it couldn't be fixed. Dion instructed the engineer to extract its usable parts for other purposes. Elsewhere, the thieves had taken refuge in an abandoned building. The team began discussing how to get out of their mess. Londi suggested that someone at Tetraveil must have a master switch capable of shutting down all scouts. They decided to find this person. After some online research, they discovered that a man named Dion had invented the scouts. Dion, meanwhile, was working at home on a new project. His own robots served him food and took care of his home. After hours of coding, he created a program that could give robots feelings and independent thinking. But Michelle had no interest in this because her business was all about weapons. She refused to let him test it. Angry, Dion retrieved Scout 22 and the guard key, a tool used to update programs, loaded everything into his van, and left. But just a short distance away, Ninja's team ambushed him. They smashed his van windows, dragged him out, and knocked him unconscious. They took him to their hideout and woke him by pouring water on him. Ninja punched him and demanded he shut down the scouts. Dion explained that scouts are always on and can only be disabled via software. Ninja didn't believe him and pulled a gun. Just then, America informed them that Scout 22 was in the van. Seeing the robot, Ninja demanded Dion install a program that would make it his slave. Dion said he had developed a new software, but it hadn't been tested yet. Ninja insisted he install it anyway. Dion began repairing Scout 22 using broken parts. Its battery was also damaged, giving it only 5 days of power. Using the guard key, Dion removed the old software and installed the new one. Moments later, Scout 22 activated, but its mind was like a child's. It hid in fear upon seeing humans. Ninja got angry, scaring the robot even more. Londi gently approached and took it to the kitchen, speaking kindly. The robot then came out and touched her hand. Dion gave it a toy to play with, and soon the robot started remembering everyone's names. Delighted, Londi named the robot Chappie. At the Tetraveil office, Vincent found out the guard key was missing and traced it to Scout 22. The next morning, he noticed Dion was researching teaching methods for children online. Spotting injuries on Dion's face, Vincent questioned him about the guard key. Dion refused to give it, citing company rules. Furious, Vincent slammed him on the table and threatened his life. Later, Vincent followed Dion after work. At the hideout, Chappie was exploring and touching different things. Ninja suddenly told him he had to work for their team and began teaching him how to use a gun. Scared, Chappie missed his aim, making Ninja furious. Before he could hurt the robot, Londi intervened and said Chappie should first learn basic life skills. She showed Chappie various objects and taught him words. Soon, he began speaking in full sentences. He even called Londi mom, making her very happy. Then America taught him some curses and gangster slang, which he quickly picked up. When Dion visited and saw Chappie talking like a thug, he was disheartened. He made Chappie promise never to do anything illegal. To nurture his mind, Dion gave him books to read. Vincent was secretly watching all this and now knew exactly where the guard key was. He formed a plan and left. Chappie, it turned out, was an excellent painter and even painted an exact replica of a car. Everyone was thrilled, but Ninja suddenly entered and started beating Dion, angry that he was turning Chappie soft. He nearly shot him, but Yolandi stopped him and Dion ran away. Londai explained to Chappie that his mind was like a child's. Ninja now wanted Chappie to become a gangster quickly. He and America dropped him off at a rival gang's base. Their plan was that if the gang attacked Chappie, he would learn to fight back. Mistaking him for a police bot, the gang threw stones and even set him on fire. Still, Chappie didn't retaliate, because he had promised Dion he wouldn't hurt anyone. Eventually, Chappie escaped and tried to find his way back. After wandering for a long time, he sat on a rock, tired and lost. A dog approached, and Chappie gently petted it. But moments later, Vincent and his men found him using the company's tracking system. Vincent used an electronic device to disable Chappie instantly. When Chappie woke up, he was locked in Vincent's truck, held by men. He struggled to escape, but Vincent, in rage, cut off his arm. Then he opened Chappie's head panel and removed the guard key. He told Chappie that he wasn't a real person, just a machine made of metal and wires. Vincent no longer needed him and was about to cut off his head. But this time, Chappie defended himself, fought off all the men, and jumped out of the truck. Vincent's men fired at him, but Chappie kept running. Vincent let him go, thinking he was now useless. Chappie somehow made it back to the hideout. Londai cared for him while shouting at Ninja, blaming him for Chappie's condition. America repaired some parts and gave him a new arm. Londai reassured Chappie that he was just like any other human, only with a metal body. Then America taught him how to use a knife, saying it was just to put people to sleep and wouldn't hurt anyone. Chappie, with his childlike mind, believed it. Ninja and America then taught him how to use other weapons like shurikens and nunchucks. They painted Chappie's body and adorned him with chains to make him look like a gangster. Later, Ninja needed to steal a car, so he told Chappie that someone had stolen his car, and now they were going to get it back. Hearing this, Chappie approached the man and, in a fit of anger, began smashing the car badly. He also accused the car owner of being a thief and then picked the man up and threw him far away. Seeing this, Ninja and America quickly pulled Chappie back and started scolding him, saying, "What the hell have you done? You completely wrecked the car. How are we supposed to take it back now?" Then they handed Chappie a gun and told him that it wasn't for shooting, just for his protection. Over the next few hours, Chappie, influenced by them, stole several cars. The people whose cars he stole assumed he was a police scout, so they didn't dare to resist. After this, Chappie was taken to an abandoned building where some gangsters were watching a dogfight. When they saw Chappie, they thought he was a scout and ran away in fear. Meanwhile, Ninja and America sold the stolen cars and bought a lot of weapons. While Chappie was waiting for them, he saw a dead dog and another poor dog locked in a cage. At that moment, Ninja returned and told him that the dogs reflected the harsh truth of life. You either die or fight to survive. Chappie responded by saying he could never die because he was a robot. To this, Ninja replied that his battery would soon run out, and in order to afford a new battery, they would have to do a bigger heist. Hearing this, Chappie agreed to help because he didn't want to die. Later that evening, they all returned to the hideout, where Dion was already waiting. He was deeply disappointed upon seeing Chappie because he had turned into a thug, but Chappie no longer cared about Dion since he had given him a faulty battery in such a short life. Meanwhile, at the company lab, Vincent used a guard's help to upload a software called Genesis into all the scouts. As soon as this was done, all scouts across the country suddenly shut down, causing chaos and accidents everywhere. Criminals even escaped from jails. Chappie also shut down. When Dion came to check on him, Ninja blamed him for the malfunction and started a fight. During the scuffle, Dion pulled out a gun and made them back off. Then he loaded Chappie into his van and took him back to the company. Elsewhere, when Hippo got the news that all the scouts had shut down, he gleefully announced that he would now rule the city. Within moments, thousands of goons flooded the streets, wreaking havoc everywhere, as there was no one left to stop them. The last remaining scout was also shut down right in front of them, and they set it on fire. At the police station, officers armed themselves and prepared to take control of the situation. Meanwhile, Vincent was delighted by the news of chaos across the country because his plan had worked. He began deleting the Genesis software to erase all evidence, but it was taking some time. At that moment, Dion brought the shut-down Chappie into the lab, forcing Vincent to hide immediately. Dion connected Chappie to a computer and found the Genesis software code, but for now, he focused on saving Chappie and ignored Genesis. Fortunately, Genesis didn't delete from Vincent's computer in time. In just a few moments, Chappie woke up, fully functioning like before. As Dion was leaving, Chappie saw the robot designed by Vincent. Dion explained that Moose was a robot controlled by a human wearing a helmet that could read all the thoughts from the human brain. When Chappie saw the new model of Moose, he said he wanted a body like that too. But Dion told him he couldn't just transfer data like that because Chappie didn't just have data, he had a mind and emotions. Vincent overheard all of this. Chappie became angry with Dion for not giving him the body he wanted, so he stole the moose's helmet and ran off in frustration. Meanwhile, the police had surrounded the company building. Vincent quickly shut down his computer and escaped, but forgot to remove the guard's access. Dion met with Michelle, who ordered him to fix all the scouts at any cost. Vincent then approached Michelle as per his plan and claimed that it was time to deploy the moose robot. But Michelle still didn't approve it. Back at the gang's hideout, Chappie placed the helmet on Yolandi and connected her to his computer. After several tweaks, he finally succeeded. The helmet read Chappie's brain and displayed everything on the screen. Now Chappie needed money for a new body, so he and his gang prepared for their next heist. They stopped a truck loaded with weapons in the middle of the highway. Chappie stabbed a few guards to death because he had been told that stabbing people only makes them fall asleep. After that, they blasted the car door open, and then Chappie threw out the remaining guards. He immediately started stealing the money, while news reporters were showing everything live. Suddenly, Chappie noticed that one of the guards wasn't asleep, but groaning in pain. But before he could understand the reality, his gang called him back into the van, and they quickly fled from the scene. Meanwhile, at the Tetravale office, Dion searched the system and discovered that the Genesis software had come from Vincent's computer. He created a scene right there in the office, but just then, news flashed on TV showing Chappie attacking and robbing innocent people. Seeing this, Dion was completely stunned and left immediately. Taking advantage of the moment, Vincent approached Michelle and told her that it was Dion who had installed the Genesis software in all the scouts to shut them down, and now his robot Chappie was out killing innocent people. Hearing this, Michelle finally gave Vincent permission to use Moose. Vincent immediately connected his mind to Moose and sent it to attack Chappie. On the other hand, when Hippo saw the news about Chappie on TV, he said he wanted that robot too. Meanwhile, Chappie was very happy with his gang because they had gotten the money for his new body. But then Ninja revealed that it was actually impossible to change his body this way, and that they had lied to Chappie to make him help with the robbery. Hearing this, Chappie got furious and grabbed Ninja by the neck and threw him out. At the same time, Dion arrived and warned him about the upcoming danger. He showed Chappie a special weapon that could damage robots. Just then, Hippo and his men arrived and started demanding money and Chappie from Ninja. In response, Ninja's gang attacked them. A heavy shootout broke out from both sides, when suddenly Moose arrived on the scene. Vincent was controlling it, and Moose crushed America under his feet, killing him. Then he brutally ripped America into 2 pieces and threw him aside. Ninja was firing at Moose, but it had no effect. Moose then started attacking with fire, so Ninja ran and hid. Hippo and his men also started shooting at Moose, so Vincent made Moose fly and bombed them, killing the entire gang. Only Hippo survived by crawling into a pipe. Now, Moose advanced to attack Dion, but just then, Chappie came in front of him with the weapon Dion had given. He quietly planted a bomb on Moose's body and then attacked him. The blast broke one of Moose's arms. In retaliation, Moose launched a powerful attack on Chappie, causing him to fall and drop the detonator. At this point, Hippo came out again and joined Ninja to fight Moose. Meanwhile, Chappie broke a wall and brought Yolandi inside. Ninja and Hippo managed to destroy Moose's cameras, after which Vincent blew it up into the air. Dion tried to escape in his van, but Hippo stopped him. Ninja came to help Dion, but Hippo still managed to shoot Dion. Seeing this, Ninja got so furious that he smashed Hippo's head with an axe. Then Chappie quickly hid the injured Dion in the van. Vincent had by now fixed Moose's camera, and Moose returned to attack Ninja's team. Chappie ran to grab his helmet, but it was ruined by a bullet. Now he had to go to the factory to get a new helmet to save Dion. Ninja told him to go with Yolandi in the van and stayed back to distract Moose. After they left, Ninja fell to his knees, facing death in the form of Moose. Just when Moose was about to finish him off, Yolandi jumped out of the van and attacked Moose with a special weapon. Vincent immediately turned Moose and had it shoot Yolandi, killing her on the spot. Chappie reached her right then and was devastated to see his mother dead. At that moment, he found the detonator and immediately pressed the button, blowing up the bomb attached to Moose and destroying it completely in a massive explosion. After that, Chappie took Dion and headed toward Tetravale. Seeing him, Vincent tried to run, but Chappie threw a knife at his leg to stop him. Vincent somehow reached the main office, but everyone was terrified upon seeing Chappie. Chappie grabbed Vincent and started slamming him hard against the walls and windows. Then he broke Vincent's bones, spun him around, and threw him far away. Finally, he said to Vincent, "Go, I forgive you." Who even forgives like that, man? Soon, the police surrounded the building and began trying to force open the doors. Meanwhile, Chappie brought the injured Dion into the lab and connected him to a helmet, after which all of Dion's data was transferred into a robot body. Now Dion was also in a robot body. Then Dion went to Vincent's computer and, with the help of a guard, reactivated all the scouts. After that, he transferred all of Chappie's data into a new body. Just then, the police arrived, so Dion ran outside. There he saw Chappie in a new scout body and was extremely happy. Both of them returned to their hideout with Ninja, where they buried Yolandi and paid their respects. Then news came on TV that all the robot scouts had been deactivated, and now police officers would resume their duties as before. Sometime later, Chappie found the USB stick containing the data from the helmet test he had done on Dion. He hacked the factory machines and ordered the creation of a beautiful new robot. In the end, he uploaded Yolandi's data into it. Now Yolandi too was with them again, in the form of a robot. Will robots take the place of humans in the future? What do you think about this? Do tell us in the comments. See you in the next video.